Hello everyone, I'm Professor Andrew Kulman. I'm working at Birmingham City University in the School of Visual Communication. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate monoprinting, something that you can all do at home. You can do it on your kitchen table, and if you use water-based inks, you can then clean up just using soap and water. It's something that I do when I've not got access to lots of machinery. But today we're in the print room, as you can see, and we're surrounded by lots of great machines. So if you haven't got all of this, you can do all of what I'm going to show you in a very simple and controlled environment. So I hope you enjoy the little demonstration. I'm going to be showing you just some basic monoprinting, and then later on I'll show you some of the things that we can do using wooden letterpress type. I teach visual communication, and I largely teach illustration and graphic design students, and this is something that both those students really enjoy doing, because it means that you can get your hands dirty. You can actually get involved with inks and rollers and physically print. And if you want to then use that work to put onto a computer, you can then scan it in and adapt it on the computer, change colours, alter the shapes, etc. So it's not that you can't use a computer, but this is something that we call analog. So that means you use just basically the inks and the rollers and use your hands and your imagination. And that's the important bit, is using your imagination. So whether you're using ink or digital, you still have to have an idea. So let's get started. Right, I'm going to be using water-based ink, and this is something that you can wash off afterwards with water and soap, so even if I get it on my hands, it's quite safe. And this is what I would recommend you use when you do it. So I just put a little bit on the surface. You would use a sheet of plastic or glass. Don't do it on the kitchen table, because you'd have to eat off that. But if you use some glass or plastic, you can do this. Then I use the roller and roll it out. Try and get an even surface. See how that goes. But first of all, I'm going to take some of the surface off. And we can see what happens here. It will be just a big sheet of plastic. Okay. So what I've done there is I've actually taken the surface off. And now what I want to do is control the actual amount of ink that I'm putting down. So if I put that down there, I'm going to use just some pencils, okay? So if I want to write, I have to do it back to front. So I'm going to write Ava. And I can use my thumb as well, finger, make a space right there. You see we're starting to get. There's still a lot of this in the background, and I find that that's a bit distracting. So in order to get rid of that, I'm going to still try and take some of the surface ink off. So I'm just going to see if I can get some of that off. And that's just taking more of the ink off. Now I'm going to see about doing a picture now. So what should I draw? I'll draw a bird, okay? So if you put your hand there, it will leave an impression. So if I go like that, we can see that that will leave a handprint. So be careful, if you don't want the handprint, don't put any. So that's me doing a bird. And you can see it's much better, isn't it? And you see that that hasn't got all of that ink, it's just where I've drawn. So now we've got to think about some of the projects that you might be doing back in China. So what I need to do is just quickly just roll over that just lightly, because I don't want to have that picture come through. So we were talking about using this. This is nice. Let's see what this does. Let's see if I can get an impression pressing on there. No, it's not worked. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink that up. I'm going to do a special print now. I ink this up. All these letters I can ink up. And you can make these yourself out of rubber. You can cut these from rubber and make rubber stamps. So let's just find this, and then what we can do is we can print each of these. Is it okay? So with this, I put it down there, and I just rub it with my fingers, the shape. A. Next one. I spelled this wrong. Doesn't matter. Now we've got this one here. I'll put that in between. It's a really nice. A, B, A, and then the A again. Which one will use this A? Little A. Little A there. I've got some on my finger. Okay. A there. And then we'll do a nice drawing on the top. That's a fish, yeah. How's that? Looks quite nice, doesn't it?
I like that.
You like that, yeah. So what I'm showing you is the sort of thing that if you're a student having to work from home, you'd be able to do this with some glass, some water-based ink, and just some paper and a pen. You'd be able to do it. And if you do have access to any letters, then you could also do some graphic design, some typography. So this is using type and drawing to make some image. Exactly. So what we can do is we can draw. I can just cut it out with a knife. Use this here and like this. And that's how you can make lettering. Also, we can have a bit of fun. So you can have a bit of fun with it as well, using your imagination all the time. And then we can do something else now. We can. Yeah, okay, we're going to have a bit more fun. So you can actually start to create things with this. You know, it's like anything. It's using your imagination what you want to do. So you have opportunities to do all sorts. I need to draw you a picture of.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you like?
Flower.
A flower.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a nice idea. A little flower, yeah? It's nice, isn't it? And I like using the fingers as well to get those broad marks. What would you like me to draw you?
House. Yeah. House.
A house?
Yeah.
Okay. It's quite easy to do. Good house. Remembering to spell everything. So really, this is an opportunity just to experiment, to try things out, and to have fun, and not to get bored when you're stuck indoors or not able to go to college. So it's, as I say, it's something that all of us can do just with having the basic things around us. This is to clean all of the ink up afterwards, so that you leave it nice and fresh. So we've got lots of ink everywhere. You can draw this. You can draw a picture here. So the ink. So even if you're clearing up, you can definitely still get nice marks. So that's clearing up. So this is just the waste. We're just using water. Just water does this. So just using the water to clean. Some tissue. And just wipe it all over.
It's really easy to clean.
Really easy to clean, yeah. That's the nice thing. You can do it in your kitchen. You can do this in your kitchen at home. You don't need all of this around you. And the same with this here.
Oh, right, yeah.
We can just use water and just clean it. Same with all of them. Just a little bit of water. So just using the water. So we don't want to leave any mess at all. Everything clean. Just clean the roller too. But it's always important to clean up because obviously, you know, when anyone else wants to use this, it will be all ready for them to use without them having to clean it themselves. So, that's great, thank you.